Really, what can you say about Patrick Mahomes? At just 28 years old, he's won 3 Super Bowls, 3 Super Bowl MVPs, 2 NFL MVPs, 1 Offensive Player of the Year, 5 Pro Bowls. The dude is arguably the greatest quarterback in NFL history. He's won back-to-back Super Bowls, and his team didn't even have an actual wide receiver on the roster. But maybe the craziest thing about his career, he wasn't the number 1 overall pick. He was barely in the top 10. So looking back on the 2017 NFL Draft, who were the 9 players that teams thought were better than Patrick Mahomes, and how have their careers panned out? Let's get into it. The first overall pick in the 2017 NFL Draft was none other than Myles Garrett. And if it wasn't for Patrick Mahomes, Myles Garrett would definitely still be the number 1 pick in a draft do-over. The guy is an absolute superstar in the NFL. He's had double-digit sacks in 6 straight seasons, totaling 46 sacks from 2021 to 2023, which is second most in the NFL. Myles Garrett is one of the best pass rushers right now. He's won Defensive Player of the Year, been selected to 3 first-team All-Pros, 5 Pro Bowls. The dude is dang near unstoppable out there on the football field. With the second overall pick in the 2017 NFL Draft, the Chicago Bears selected Mitch Trubisky out of North Carolina. Not only that, but Chicago actually traded up 1 spot with the 49ers to draft him. And as the first QB off the board, safe to say this was easily the wrong pick. Trubisky's best season with the Bears was a Pro Bowl selection and a 12-4 record, but that season ended with the infamous double doink and being eliminated from the playoffs. Trubisky was released from the Bears after his rookie contract, where he's been a backup for the Bills. He started a little bit as a gap QB for the Pittsburgh Steelers and is now a backup for the Bills again. This will be a bust at the number 2 position no matter what year it was, but especially when you need a quarterback and Patrick Mahomes was still on the board. The 49ers traded back 1 spot with the Bears. With a 3rd pick, they chose defensive lineman Solomon Thomas. And again, it wasn't really the best pick. Thomas didn't really contribute a lot in his first few seasons with the 49ers, just totaling 95 tackles and 6 sacks. Since being released from the 49ers, he's jumped around from the Raiders to the Jets, and while he did have a career-high number in sacks last year, that career high was just 5. The guy is nothing more than a backup rotational piece, definitely not worthy of the 3rd overall pick. The Jacksonville Jaguars picked running back Leonard Fournette with the 4th overall pick. While he had some strong years with the Jags and even won a Super Bowl with the Bucks, I don't think he was worthy of a top 5 pick. It's just hard to justify any running back that high, especially a running back on Fournette's level. Now, in his first 3 seasons in Jacksonville, Fournette was a workhorse back, totaling over 1,000 rush yards twice. He also caught 76 passes through the air in 2019, which was his last season with the team. He then joined the Bucks for another 3 seasons and helped them win it all in 2020, transforming into playoff Lenny when he totaled 448 scrimmage yards in 4 games on the Bucks' playoff run. But Fournette is definitely on the last leg of his career. He only played 2 games for the Bills in 2023 before they released him. A super solid 6 years for a running back, but again, top 5 pick, not really worth that. Speak of another guy who wasn't worth a top 5 pick, my team, the Tennessee Titans, selected Corey Davis with the 5th overall pick. At the time, he was seen as the top wide receiver prospect in the class and seemed like a great pick. But Corey Davis just never really panned out. He never had a true 1,000-yard season, but did come close in 2020 when he hit 984 yards, 65 catches, and 5 touchdowns. That was his final year in Tennessee before signing a 3-year deal with the New York Jets. Of course, he didn't do much in NYC with Zach Wilson and actually retired from football after 2 years on the team. He's trying to come out of retirement now, He'll probably be a good wide receiver 3 for a team. I don't think he's been signed yet. The New York Jets picked safety Jamal Adams with the 6th overall pick. And honestly, he was kinda a slam dunk for the first part of his career. In fact, in his first 3 years with the Jets, he made 2 Pro Bowls and 1 All-Pro first team. Then Adams was traded to the Seattle Seahawks, made another Pro Bowl. But he's been riddled with injuries for the past few years, and honestly has barely been able to get on the field. He was one of the best safeties in the game for a while there, but he's been released from the Seahawks just because he can't stay healthy, and is still out there as a free agent. The LA Chargers picked wide receiver Mike Williams with the 7th overall pick. While a lot of people saw Corey Davis as the top wide receiver prospect in the class, it's also seen that big Mikey Williams had the highest upside and potential. He's massive, 6 feet 4 inches, and he uses all of that frame to come crashing down after each jump ball catch, meaning that Williams has had a ton of injuries throughout his career. When he's been healthy, he's delivered, even had a 76 catch, 1,146 yard, 9 touchdown season in 2021. But that's kind of where his career maxed out at. And now he's a part of the retirement home that the Jets are assembling as an offense. The Carolina Panthers selected Christian McCaffrey with the 8th overall pick. And looking back, you can't really fault them for this, even with Mahomes still on the board. McCaffrey has been great, immediately making an impact for the team as he totaled almost 2,000 scrimmage yards and 13 touchdowns in his second year, then over 2,000 scrimmage yards and 19 touchdowns in 2019. Then after his trade to the 49ers, well, he didn't slow down one bit. In just 27 games, the Stanford RB has over 2,000 rush yards, 32 rush touchdowns, 120 catches, 1,000 receiving yards, and 11 receiving touchdowns. Christian McCaffrey is easily the best running back in the NFL right now, with multiple All-Pros to his name, winning the 2023 Offensive Player of the Year for the first time in his career. But here we've got the Cincinnati Bengals picking wide receiver John Ross, 1 pick before Patrick Mahomes. Easily the worst pick in this top 10. Ross wasn't even projected to be a high draft pick until the combine, when he broke the 40-yard dash record at 4.22 seconds. GMs just got all wrapped up in that elite speed, and it ended up not translating to the NFL one bit. In 5 years in the league, Ross never totaled over 550 receiving yards a season and only has 957 receiving yards in his whole career. John Ross hasn't been on a team since 2021, making him arguably the biggest bust in the 2017 NFL Draft. Then with the 10th overall pick, the Kansas City Chiefs traded up with the Buffalo Bills to select Patrick Mahomes, arguably the greatest quarterback in NFL history, and probably the best draft pick ever made.